Welcome to episode 46 of Generation Gap Book Reviews. I'm Christy the Mom.
And I'm Lena the daughter.
Wow.
I have
Okay.
energy.
In this episode, we are going to review Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins.
You might have heard of this book or the author. She's actually pretty famous.
Or the series it's a prequel for.
It's true.
This
Pretty
is
famous
the
stuff.
second prequel for the Hunger Games trilogy. We reviewed the entire trilogy before, and we've also
Yeah.
reviewed the first prequel already.
Yeah.
And now we're reviewing this one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry. Sorry.
we won't be able to talk about the movie, though, because it hasn't come out yet.
No, but we can talk about the trailer.
Yay!
I'm joking.
I'm not so much of a trailer fiend as everybody else seems to be. I
Oh,
don't
you
feel the
should.
need to
There's
watch trailer
so-
over and over and analyze every little bit of it, and then watch the
I've
second trailer
seen-
and then the third trailer, and then what's the point of watching the movie anymore because they've showed us everything.
I think it's kind of interesting to see all the videos that they have on like the analyzing, like noticing
People are
things.
crazy. People just have so much time to kill. I don't understand it. Anyway, so this book.
This book.
Okay, so the synopsis for this book is kind of basic, really. It's
Haymitch's Games.
Haymitch Abernathy, who
The 50th Hunger Games.
he was the mentor for Katniss and Peeta in the Hunger Games trilogy. And that means he had been in the Hunger Games in the past, the 50th Games, and that was one of the quarter quells where they had twice as many.
Twice as
Tributes.
many tributes. They had 48 tributes.
And of course, from the Hunger Games, you know that simply because he's alive, he won his games. Well, now we get to see his games.
Yeah. I mean, in Catching Fire, they have a mention of his games because Peeta and Katniss watched some tapes of old games and they found his, but it's not like as you might expect from that tape.
Well, and that's where, so going into this, we don't really need to give a synopsis. That's basically the synopsis. Going into this, I didn't really understand why she felt the need to write this book and why I should care to read it.
Mhm.
We already know he survives his games. We've seen the Hunger Games. We've seen him done several times. Why do we need to see this? But it was like you kind of said, it was more than I expected. It was,
Right.
I am surprised every time I read one of these books, and I'm expecting it to be something that I struggle with because of violence, that I don't like because President Snow is evil, so why should I care about him when he was younger? And I already know that Haymitch wins his game, so why do I want to see these? Why do I want to experience it like this? But the truth is, every time I read these books, then I'm like, you know what? This is better than I thought it was going to be. So, again, skipping a synopsis because really it's Haymitch becoming a tribute and then going through the Hunger Games and the aftermath. So, let's just dive right in, Lena. What did you like about this book?
Oh, so much. There's so much. I love her writing. Like, it's actually really interesting because I've read another of her series, but it's for like middle grade.
The Gregor the Overlander?
Yeah.
Underlander? Is he under or overland?
He's an Overlander.
He's an Overlander, okay.
Yes.
Clearly, I have not read these books.
And she's not going to.
No, because apparently there are lots of spiders.
Big, like, human-sized spiders. So yeah. But anyway, it's actually interesting because I forget that's the same author because I feel like she doesn't have the same writing. Because I think for the Hunger Games, it's more mature.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. But the other series is really good too, but we're not talking about that series. But yeah, she just has
Not
really,
now, at least.
I don't know. She just has really good writing. So, and she puts so much into her characters, like the difference between Haymitch's point of view and then Katniss's point of view in the future, like their different writing styles. There is a difference there, and I thought it was really interesting. Because Haymitch was much more chatty.
Which is a good point because these two people, Katniss and Haymitch, are thrust into the same situation, being forced to kill or be killed. But it's not just the same. I mean, Katniss is a very distinct kind of character.
Yeah.
And Haymitch, yeah, and even though he wasn't in the same situation, she had a book in between there that was a different POV that felt very different as well. Coriolanus Snow before he was President Snow. She does do a pretty good job of different voices, different characters, characterizations.
Yeah. Um, I enjoyed things that I didn't expect. Like there were certain like I don't know. I don't remember what kind of expectations I had for the book going into it. And I think I don't know. It probably went above my expectations, but I don't remember.
I mean, I guess I kind of already said that it did mine, so.
Yeah. And it was just yeah, it was really good and
So,
crazy.
yeah. I expected. So, okay, so what did you keep calling it before either of us read it?
Sunrise on the Weeping.
Which you hadn't read it yet, but you saw that online everywhere, right? It
Yeah.
was being called that online. And I'm not an overly emotional person. I'm not
Mhm.
even a particularly emotional person. And I figured, okay, the Hunger Games, everything's sad. I know what, generally speaking, what's gonna happen. I don't want to spoil the main trilogy in case, because I don't think we really need to spoil it for to review this. But there were things that were said that happened in Haymitch's past that you knew would have to be sad seeing them more up close.
Mhm.
I don't really don't like it. I feel like I can kind of, I mean, every author, if they're writing a book, it's all contrived, of course, because it's fiction at least. It's all contrived, it's all made up. Sometimes it feels more contrived, and it feels just like they're trying to manipulate you. They're trying to manipulate your emotions, and
Mhm.
they're throwing things in there to try to make you cry so that you'll like the book more,
Yeah.
you'll feel more connected to the book. It's basically, it can be done smoothly and it can be done not so smoothly, and I really don't like it when I feel the contrivance and I feel the
Mm.
manipulation. I anticipated that from this. I just figured, well, of course, Sunrise on the Weeping, you keep calling it that, everybody cries, so I'm gonna feel like it's something that, oh well, oh, I'm supposed to cry at that, oh, that's supposed to be sad. I didn't. It never really
Yeah.
felt. It didn't really. Other than there was, we can get to it in the dislikes, but majority of this was done more smoothly, and it
Mhm.
was emotional, and even I teared up a little bit.
Mhm.
Nothing compared to you,
Oh,
but
I gotta talk about that too.
so you've read this book technically twice, right? You
Yeah,
read the
I
book and
read
then
it
you
and then I
listened to
listened
the.
to the
I've
audiobook.
only all I've done is listen to the audiobook, but that means you read it twice, and
Mhm.
even on your second reading,
Huh.
how did you react still?
Oh my gosh. Like, okay, so towards the end especially, usually I read audiobooks when I'm going to bed, and sometimes I don't sleep very well, but I don't even know if it was just a night I wasn't sleeping very well or if I knew something was coming up and I was just really listening to it. But I still cried at certain scenes and I still was like, wow, okay, but I'm a very emotional person. I'm very different from mom. I cry at a lot of things. So it's actually funny because at the end of the book, dad said something. He was like, I was around you guys, and dad was like,
I think you were out there, and he was out
yeah, on
there.
the
Yeah.
couch. And I don't even know, I don't remember what dad said, but he like noticed me sobbing.
Didn't he, like, was that when he kind of lightly
I,
mocked you a little bit and then felt really
yeah,
bad
a
about
little
it?
bit. I was
I think
like,
maybe did he say something like again? Because
yeah.
he'd already known that you'd been crying with this book at one point, and then he saw you crying more, and he was like again, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah. But I don't know why, but books that make me cry, either with joy especially, but even sad tears, I just like I really love them. And I'm wondering if that's because I'm crying because I'm very connected to the book, so it just like I don't know. Cause
So you like it when a
yeah,
book makes you cry,
yes.
one way or the other,
It's,
happy or
it's
sad.
a weird thing, but yes.
Well, I
But
also want to mention that this is not the first time in this series that I have read one of these books and went, oh, I know it's coming. It's going to be the same basic thing again. But again, it wasn't. I thought
mhm.
it'd just be a rehashing of, the reaping and whatever. The reaping was different. The training time was different. The
Yes.
Hunger Games were very different. And like you said,
Yeah.
the main character was different enough. It was its own story
Yeah.
while still being connected to the main series. And and I saw several reviews where people complained about quote unquote name dropping, which actually wasn't even name dropping. It was full on character appearances.
Mhm.
Characters from the original trilogy that appeared, and people thought, well, she's just trying to, fit them in. Or
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
All but one. There was one that I felt was unnecessary. That seemed a little bit more like, okay, so you know how sometimes you're watching a TV show
Mhm.
I don't know, maybe you don't know this, but so there are some TV shows, if they go on long enough, especially, where they might have an episode where they show people like show the main characters back in time a ways. And, this is a situation they went through, or at least a few of them went through, or this is something that happened to them. And it's like maybe before the characters had necessarily met, but they still sort of show them like somehow those same characters kind of interact with each other. Like they didn't know each other yet, and they don't remember later in passing that they happened to come across each other. But different characters like somehow were connected in ways that it's like they retcon it. They never had that history or that past in the main show, but they just really wanted to show. I don't know. It's hard to explain what I mean.
Hmm.
There are times in like TV shows or maybe even movie franchises where they show past scenes, like made up, like newly filmed past scenes, where they put characters from them that were in the main show or movie series together in a way that it didn't make any sense for them to have been together in the past, if that makes any sense. That's how I anticipated this feeling, but other than one character, all of it felt very natural,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
was happy to see these different people. Like I was
Yeah.
really excited about some of them showing up and
Yeah, it was
showing
really
up in ways that
exciting.
we didn't get to see them in the main trilogy because they were much older and
Mhm.
possibly more damaged in the main series.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, yeah, their roles I really think brought some stuff to life more, brought understanding more,
Mhm.
things about them that where they're all their side characters and stuff, minor characters in the main trilogy, to see them in their element more,
Yeah.
in their heyday, no, so to speak. I really liked that anyway, and
Yeah.
I think she did well with the continuity with these characters in the past. So
Mhm. And I'd also say there were some characters that I really liked that were introduced in the book.
you mean like besides Haymitch, obviously, some other major characters that you
Yeah,
really like?
major
Yeah.
characters. There were a few, and friendships, different kind of relationships from in the story. So
I also I so there are some books that I read where I really wonder if the author wrote a book, it was well received, and then they're like, well, how can I continue this? And then they just make things up as they go, and it doesn't go well.
yeah,
This is the opposite of that. I don't know for sure. I haven't taken the time to go and like look up anything like if people have interviewed her about her process or anything like that. So
yeah,
take this. This is just my. I have a hard time. I would have a hard time believing that she didn't have a lot of this planned pretty early on. Maybe not.
yeah,
Maybe not
right,
100%. But I feel like she had to have had some ideas of I want to maybe go back and delve into this. I want to delve into that. Like
yeah,
she didn't just throw random stuff out there and make it work. She put in things that there was already depth to some of this before she even wrote the prequels, and
yeah,
that's great. Like that's why I definitely could see her writing a third prequel because
yeah. They
and that I think it could go really well. So like, Lena,
Mhm.
is there anything you did not like about this book?
No.
For me the only real thing was near the end it kind of dragged a bit. Now I didn't read the book even though I read the original trilogy, but I was already on a
A
I had
spree.
read the original trilogy and Song Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes a while ago. Well, not the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes wasn't a while ago, but I read all of that, and then I somewhat more recently decided to listen to them all, and then I just kind of continued on to Sunrise on the Reaping. So
Yeah.
I've only listened to the audiobook, and I think that's part of why the I don't know how long it is, the last few chapters or so, the end area dragged for me because there was a certain literary element that she included that just I was ready to be past it. And if I was reading it, I could have skimmed these areas.
Yeah.
So
That was yeah.
it dragged a bit, and that was the area where I knew there should be more emotion in there than I was feeling, and I think part of that was because it was starting to drag, and I was like, okay, I get it. Let's move on. So, but
Even that's another difference because when I read it, well, it probably also because I had already read it when I listened to it that it was a bit different in like reactions, but that was I was already crying at that point in the audiobook, so I guess it doesn't really it wouldn't have mattered what they were talking about. I might have still been no, wait, that's not true. Never mind. I'm rambling. Thank you.
that's okay. So I think that's it for this thing because that was all I had. That was all I had that I that I would say that I didn't like about it, and that's really kind of a minor thing.
Mhm.
So, what do you rate this book?
5 stars. I bet you can't tell.
Yeah, I rated it 5 stars too, because that one little thing I didn't like about it was not enough for me to bring it down even half a star. I liked it overall so much more than I expected to.
Oh my
And
gosh.
since we're discussing our ratings, basically, you read and listened to it.
Mhm.
Did you like the audiobook itself as well?
Yes. I really
Narrator?
the narrator was really good at emotions and just different things that were happening, and it's so good. And the narrator is gonna be in the movie,
Yeah,
a
I
minor
really
part.
don't know what that part is, but yes, he
He's
is in the
like
movie
somebody's dad
because
or
he's an actor.
something.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
getting to be a point where I'm realizing a lot of audiobook narrators have also done some kind of acting. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I like a lot of audiobooks. It took me a little bit to kind of, I think, to get into his narration, but overall he was good. And yeah, he definitely did well with the emotion there
Yeah.
at the end, especially the anger. So do we recommend this to anybody differently than we did the main series? And by the way, if you want to by any chance listen to our review of the original series, we reviewed The Hunger Games in episode 21, just that book. Then we reviewed the rest of the series, Catching Fire and Mockingjay, in episode 30, and then we reviewed The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes in episode 36. And I don't think we would change our right.
No.
The only thing I would really say is you
Read.
definitely need to read the trilogy first, of course. But I also strongly recommend that you read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes first, because even though these are two different trilogies from different times, there is important connections. So you really want to
See,
read this all in the order that they've come out.
see what you want to do, unless you're really, if you don't like to read series as like books of a series back to back, read them. Read, yeah.
Okay. All right. So first of all, read them.
Start with the original trilogy, absolutely, because you need that, and then go Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and then go Sunrise on the Reaping. But you might want to read the original trilogy right after you read the prequels, because there's like not like really quickly. You can wait a bit, but then if you read the trilogy again after having the prequels like at your back, so you have more backstory for other people, it's like magical.
You didn't do that, did you?
Yeah, I did. I read the books. I read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm pretty sure I read Sunrise on the Reaping, and then I listened to the original trilogy, and then Ballad of
Oh,
Songbirds and Snakes,
because I didn't do
and
that.
Sunrise on the Reaping.
So what you're saying is read the Hunger Games trilogy, read the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, read the Sunrise on the Reaping, then read the Hunger Games trilogy,
Yes.
and all of this without putting too much time in between them.
Well,
It's a big
okay, no.
commitment.
Okay, here's the thing. You can read all 5 of the books first. If you read them back to back, you probably don't have to read the original trilogy that soon after, or at all, I guess. But because you might still have like the original trilogy in your mind, but as somebody who waits to read series after
Months
like
and months
sometimes yes.
and months.
Sometimes yes, I would suggest reading the trilogy again or listening to it because that might be faster. But
So
it's
what
your
you're
own
saying,
preference.
so what you're
But
saying is that the next time I decide to revisit the series, I might be better off reading this Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes and then Sunrise
Sunrise
on
on
the
the
Reaping
Reaping.
and then the trilogy
Yeah,
instead of the other way
but
around.
don't do that when you first start the
Well,
series,
no,
like
but
at
I
all.
could do that because I've already read the
But
original
yeah,
trilogy
you could
twice
do it
and watched the movies twice, and
chronologically
I think
and
I can remember most of it.
yeah. But yeah, that would
That's a lot of
yeah.
explanation for how
Sorry,
to
I'm
do
just like
this.
I'm very passionate about this because there's like so much depth to the series,
Which
I
is,
feel
see,
like.
the fact that you see into it, the fact that you, after reading the prequels,
Mhm.
read the original trilogy again that you had read a while back
Mhm.
and saw
Ah.
connections tells
Mhm.
me is what makes me feel like she had a lot of this in mind when she was writing the trilogy.
Yeah.
And if not, even if she didn't, she still, I feel like, put so much effort into making sure she kept things in line.
Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air because
Yeah,
so
right.
many people, so
She's
many
such a good writer.
writers, and that's not just book authors, but TV shows. How many times are you watching a TV show and you're like, but that's the opposite of what you said about this character, like,
Right?
6 episodes ago. And because they have different writers for different episodes, and you're like,
Yeah.
why can't they just communicate better?
Right?
Well, and if one author, James Dashner,
Yeah.
can just write himself into a corner and but keep making money, writing himself terribly out of a corner, but and Suzanne Collins really deserves
Yeah.
recognition for
She's
what she has, the depth she's put into this, and what I feel like must be some good attention paid
mhm.
to continuity. And so, okay, so now that you have given your impassioned thoughts about the best way to read this series,
Yes.
the trailer.
The trailer.
So,
But I'm
about the
very
trailer,
excited.
you want to tell us about the trailer, do you?
Well, from what I mean, there's not a lot to say
Because
really,
it's a
unless I
trailer.
like, yes. But I'm just saying, from the trailer alone, I think it's gonna be a really good movie, and I think the other Hunger Games books have been really good with movies. Like, yes, there have been some issues. Ballad of Songbirds of Snakes, the movie, was probably the worst of all of them, but I think they're gonna do good on this one. I just feel like I
Feel
just
it in
have
your
a
jellies?
yes, I feel it in my jellies. There's that's from Detective Pikachu for anybody who's concerned right now. Um, but I just feel like it's gonna be really good, and I mean, there's a lot of people very excited, and I'm in that group of excitement. So I'm thinking I might bring like a bag to the movie with
To put over your face, so that your head, so you don't have to be seen with your brother in public?
what? Not like a paper bag.
Oh, I was just thinking a bag.
No, I mean like some kind of bag or a purse or whatever with like a bunch of tissues in it because I think it's gonna be a really sobbing sob.
Because it is sunrise on the weeping, after all. Okay,
Thanks for
so
listening to us
now that we have
ramble
talked to this book and trailer to death, no, not
into the
really.
ground. Not really. There's so much more to say. But
We're not
yeah.
going to come back and revisit this when the movie comes out, though, because that would be awkward.
No, and how would we even do that?
So I think
So,
that is all that there is possibly to say about this book.
yes.
So,
So yeah. Join us next time when we will be reviewing The Runaway King by Jennifer A. Nielsen and Al Capone Shines My Shoes by Jennifer Choldenko.
until next time, I'm Christy,
And I'm Lena.
and this is
Generation Gap Book Reviews.